Instead, she fears that all or parts of Cactus Hollenback's corpse may have been sold by a side business Hess ran from the funeral home, a so-called body broker company called Donor Services. Hollenback is among dozens of people in this remote Rocky Mountain town concerned about what became of friends and family whose funerals or cremations were handled by Hess. In the wake of the report, federal agents raided the facility, and state regulators ordered Sunset Mesa, the funeral home, to shut down. In the order shutting down the facility indefinitely, Colorado regulators found that Hess failed to maintain required cremation records for at least 5 years and final disposition records of the deceased for at least 7 years. Sunset Mesa also disposed of bodies before obtaining the required permits, according to the state order. The order also cited concerns about a case involving the ashes Hess returned to one family. Hess sent the family what she said were the cremated remains of the body. But the order said the remains were analyzed by the family and found to be concrete. The FBI has been so overwhelmed by calls about Hess that it set up a hotline and email address, Sunset Mesa @ for people with information or concerns. It's now distributing a questionnaire titled Seeking Victim Information in Sunset Mesa Funeral Director's Investigation. Late last month, the agency also released a statement saying it would be testing some ashes. Donor Services shipped at least 26 boxes containing bodies or body parts from the funeral home in 2016, according to partial shipping records the news agency saw. Some of those shipments were headed to Saudi Arabia, according to Melissa Hardy, co-owner of Retriever Freight, the company that handled shipments for Donor Services. Hardy said she intended to contact the FBI. Shirley Hollenback said she grew suspicious when she went to the funeral home to collect her husband's ashes. She said workers told her they couldn't find them and that Hess was in Hawaii. 5 days later, Hollenback said, Hess drove to her mobile home and gave her a black box with a white sticker labeled G. Hollenback. Hess, she said, told her that the cremated remains had been in a safe, which was why they could not be immediately located. I have the watch that Cactus used to wear, Shirley Hollenback said. I checked his wrist for a pulse and he had no watch on. Shirley Hollenback and her daughter filed suit against Hess February 21 in Montrose County District Court. They allege that Hess sold part or all of Cactus Hollenback's body and gave them someone else's remains. The suit asks for unspecified damages for emotional distress, horror, grief, and humiliation. Some Sunset Mesa clients had better experiences. Marcia Schroeder said Hess handled funerals for her father in 2012 and her father-in-law a few months ago. All I can say is, for me and my family, she was excellent, Schroeder said. Very personable, very honorable. Connie Logan Montano of Montrose wonders about the buried remains of the daughter who died in 2007 and the brother who passed away in 2015. She'd like to have them dug up and tested, but her elderly father would object. It would destroy him, Montano said. Heather Thomas, 29, of Okmulgee, Oklahoma, recalled asking Hess to let her see her father's body before cremating it in June 2015. He died in Colorado at age 46. A family friend had asked Hess to handle arrangements for free. We couldn't afford it at that time, Thomas said. Thomas, who lived out of state, said Hess told her that she would not want to see the body. Thomas insisted. She said Hess agreed to delay cremation until Thomas could get to Montrose. But when Thomas arrived at Sunset Mesa 2 days later, she said, Hess rudely told her the body had been cremated. Hess gave her and other family members some ashes, which Thomas says she still has. It makes sense now that she would have done something shady, Thomas said. Doing all this free of charge out of the goodness of her heart? I don't know. Even then I was a little suspicious. And now I'm just wondering, what's the truth?